We don't want to do what we want, but we need to apply some common sense to it.
What challenges do you see your customers facing? Like when they call you with these problems?
I mean, we all have to be involved, and we all have a voice and a story to tell. And as we go through these regulatory,
What kind of different challenges does a lagoon face versus a packaged plant versus, what's the biggest problem you see with industry right now?
oh man.
Have you ever had issues measuring the biosolids in your lagoon? Well, today we invited on Bob Harlow with TerraGenesis. He's going to go over some of the methods and technologies they use to determine what the total volume is in your lagoons, how much biosolids you've got, and help come up with options for removing that and where it should go. So enjoy the show.
Hello and welcome to the Engineers for Communities podcast. I'm your host, Nate Yank, today here with Bob Harlow of TerraGenesis. Bob, what's your position and how did you get started with TerraGenesis?
We've been in the industry. I've been in the industry 20-some years, worked for some competitors, actually was involved in a family business that was sold off back in 2019 and felt a need to create another entity, and here we are. We're service contractors to water and wastewater, sanitary and unsanitary.
So biosolids management is your forte there?
Residuals management, not just biosolids, but any residuals product from sanitary and unsanitary water and wastewater treatment.
Yeah.
So,
And right now, what kind of customers do you serve? What municipalities?
Municipalities, industrial customers. We have historically worked for hard rock mining, processed water, maintaining those capacities for them. Solids management for the front range of Colorado. Our industry tends to follow population centers.
Yeah.
So
if I was a public owned treatment works, you're the guy I go to say, hey, the state just put some pressure on us for, our land application. We can no longer do it. We need a new solution.
yes, we do land application of biosolids. We're regulated with nitrogen for application. We also do digester cleaning, maintaining those capacities in the plant for treatment process. Lagoon cleanouts. A lot of small municipalities have lagoon systems. We'll clean those for them. So,
what challenges do you see your customers facing? Like when they call you with these problems, like what are the ones that you see
in regulatory climate? It's
tightening up
everything.
Year after year.
Yeah, the evolution of the industry, right? We started out. Clean Water Act in '93 kind of created our industry, and you fast forward to where we're at now. I mean, we've tackled various regulatory topics over the course of the years. It started out with nitrogen, phosphates, T-norm. Now we're on to PFAS. Those things tend to solve themselves with time, and we'll find something else to debate after that.
So I'm sure throughout all those iterations, and T-norm, of course, I think you told me earlier was irradiation, and then phosphorus, the nutrient removal thing, PFAS.
Yep.
You've had to probably reinvent yourself a few times throughout those to match the regulations, or is it relatively the same?
What we do, it's not as much of an issue for us. It does affect what we do, but it's kind of something that the plants have to deal with at their end to maintain the integrity of the product leaving the facilities. They can treat the water to the point of release into federal and state water. So they're discharging into the rivers and those kind of things. I know of plants that are pumping it back down into the aquifer for augmentation. But the solids accumulate in those plants to the point they have to hire somebody like us and or do it themselves to remove those.
Fertilizer, like a plant selling biosolids as a fertilizer product?
No, we don't like the term fertilizer. That opens up a whole other set of regulations, but there are nutrients in the solids that are land applied for crop nutrients.
Because I remember,
we can guarantee our application or replacement, but we can't guarantee a consistent analysis of an organic product.
Okay, because you can't guarantee what comes into the plant.
Exactly.
Yeah. Cool. And then as you go through different treatment systems, lagoons versus conventional treatment plant versus, how does that change the solids handling treatment on the back end? What kind of different challenges do a lagoon face versus a packaged plant versus,
Well, lagoon system, I mean, it's all cost driven, right? Smaller municipalities, they have a lagoon system and they're actually storing those solids generated in the treatment process in those lagoons, and it creates a deferred cost down the road. Mechanical plants, they're accelerating that treatment process, and somebody has to handle those solids on a daily basis. Wastewater, water and wastewater treatment, I mean, they're all accomplishing the same objectives, and the technology doesn't change that much.
The bugs eat the poop.
Exactly. I mean, whether it's aerobic, anaerobic, or anoxic, I mean, it's all a bacteria. A wastewater treatment, that's just a bacteria farm.
A bunch of teenagers eating a pizza. So you guys have a pretty cool technology for lagoons. I couldn't help but notice is a sonar boat?
Yeah, we do bathymetric surveys with sonar technology. It's a remote unmanned boat that we drive it around the lagoon. It gets a data point every second. We'll take that back to the office, download it into some software that we produce topographical map and give you an accurate estimate. It's still an estimate. It's an inexact science, but we can be within 1-3% of what you actually have for stored solids in those lagoons.
And that's important because if I'm the person with the lagoon, I know that the estimate I get from TerraGenesis with the sonar boat method, or sorry, they said something better. That's going to be slightly more accurate than going out there and popping the sludge judge in 15 times.
Absolutely. So, like, if you have a project or something coming up, and understanding, an estimate of what your costs are going to be is imperative, right?
You got to bound the system. You guys have found a way to do that. Somehow, doesn't seem like much other people have thought of.
Absolutely.
Cool. Well, couple more quick hits. What's the biggest problem you see with industry right now?
Oh man,
can of worms.
Governmental regulation.
What we want.
Well, we don't want to do what we want, but we need to apply some common sense.
Do what makes sense. The nincompoop forest has a way of stopping the common sense ideas from getting through. We just had a gentleman up here. He was telling me at a lagoon system that was doing 100% evapotranspiration, surrounded by big cypress trees. We're soaking it up on the edge of a cliff where there was no seepage coming out. And the state made him replace it with a package plant. Right. And he's just like, what? Like, this thing's running clean. Like, but, I'm sure you've seen plenty of instances of over-regulation. What can we do about it? Is there anything like us as engineers, as operators, as public works directors?
I think involvement. I mean, we all have to be involved, and we all have a voice in the story to tell. And as we go through these regulatory processes, we need to tell our stories and make sure that we get something out the backside that makes sense for the industry, and it's just not overstepping and overreaching control. So I think the regulations are our friend, or they can be our friend. I mean, we all have a fiduciary responsibility to look out for one another and protect the integrity of, our water and water reclamation.
Absolutely. Genesis. Tell me more about what parties came together to form what you guys do, and what makes, your group special.
Everybody brings something to the table, right? I've been in the industry. I probably possess the empirical knowledge that makes us go. One of the guys used to work for me. He was our administrative manager. That's his strength. We have an operations guy that has been involved in transportation his entire life. We have one of our partners owns a Peterbilt dealership that, he brings an equipment perspective. We're very heavy.
So it sounds like if I got a biosolids problem, I'm calling you guys. You'll tell me the truth about what you can and can't do, and what I'm facing down. You'll use the tools
or not, but I'll give you perspective.
You use the tools you have, and it sounds like you guys have hundreds of years of combined experience. For you guys. That is pretty special. So, right on. Bob, thank you for your time.
Okay.